Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jan. I'm the CEO of Acquire.Fi. We have Andrew again from Magnus Capital here, or should I say Simple Jack.
How's it going, guys? Always good to be back.
Oh, good. I think you're getting a lot of attention now, man. Like you're in every show at the moment.
Yeah, I think some steam is picking up finally. It seems like a lot of people are enjoying the charts, the TA analysis and stuff. So, I mean, as long as people can find some value and find some decent trades, all good with me.
Yeah, congrats on that. Where can they find you now? I heard you have a new channel.
Mostly just on Twitter. You can find a lot of my stuff on Twitter at RambleJackson5. It's where I post a lot of like the market reports I do at Magnus. And then I also post like my daily analysis and stuff on there as well. So, yeah.
Cool. Anyway, let's go through the news and what's been happening. I know that we haven't had a show this week, but finally got the recording on. It's been very busy on our side. There's a lot of OTC and M&A happening. But anyway, let's go through the A16 crypto report that came out. So I think there's a lot of good points here that I want to highlight. And there's basically 7 takeaways that we're going to go through. We're not going to be focusing more than 1 or 2 minutes on each. But anyway, I wanted to show you guys and tell you like what's my opinion. And maybe, Andrew, maybe you have also some opinions. So first of all, crypto has seen and hit the all-time highs on usage. So what does it mean? It means that more and more people are actually using crypto. It's very interesting to see, and I'm very happy to see this because at least from my friends and family members that I talk to, they're becoming more and more norm with, hey, like I'm using stable coins, I'm transacting with crypto. I don't even have that much fiat at the moment. I'm mostly in crypto. What about yourself, man?
Yeah, I'm pretty heavily allocated. Like I'm probably close to like 95% allocated.
Like we all. But what about your
Yeah.
friends? Like, what do you see in Canada? I know that you moved away, but
A lot of my friends are still not really into crypto. Like a lot of my normie friends aren't really quite interested, but I do get, some random questions every now and then. Like people are talking about like, oh wait, Bitcoin's like, creeping up to all-time highs again and stuff. So there is a little bit of a peaked interest, but in terms of like my retail friends, like they're not like overly how do you say, like participating yet. But in terms of like all my crypto friends and like people that trade and like people that I know, like everybody's like deep in, like
yeah.
they're in the weeds right now.
That's good. At least here in Asia, you can see more and more crypto usage. Like it's becoming more and more norm. I don't know. The West has so good banking system, so I think it will take a while still. But at least in Asia and third world countries, like crypto is the way to go.
Yeah.
Another thing that is a problematic thing in the West is obviously the US. The SEC has been just notorious this year. It's been going after a lot of different crypto companies. And I think, let's see after the presidential election, but at least for now, we're still dealing with a lot of SEC problems. What's your take here?
Yeah, I mean, who knows what's going to happen, right? I think like, if Trump wins, like he did talk about like replacing Gensler and stuff like that. But who knows if he actually keeps his word. I think Kamala is trying to be more friendly with like crypto terms as well, realizing that like it's a pretty big market. So she's kind of posting more like, positive things. But again, who knows? Like it's hard to trust politicians.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah. But the one thing I noticed is like, if you look on Poly Market, like Trump is like definitely leading the market right now. He's like way ahead in terms of the poll ratings. And yeah, so it seems like most people are betting that Trump is going to actually win this time. So.
Yeah, and one interesting thing that I saw from the statistics is that the poly market did more than $1 billion in volume. So anyone who is against prediction markets are totally wrong. Poly market is a very good example of what will happen in the future. And we saw also like with the Satoshi movie that you could actually bet. So we probably will see more and more of these like documentaries and other things where insiders are making a documentary or some other news event and basically betting on it. It will be very interesting to see what will happen. But anyway,
Totally.
like things are definitely moving to the right direction. Another interesting thing, I think this is not that interesting, but from my side, when I started crypto, one of the leading things that I did was run Paxful. So Paxful was one of the biggest peer-to-peer Bitcoin marketplaces. And remittance, like sending money abroad, back and forth, is the biggest play for crypto. And we can see it with stable coins. We can see that, hey, it's now actually doing more than Visa transaction volume in Q2. Imagine that. So if you think about it, that's major, because you have a Visa card, I have a Visa card. Usually when you pay something with fiat, you use Visa, and crypto is already twice as big as that. That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's wild. I didn't realize that there was that much stablecoin flow going through. Wow.
Yeah. And obviously, like, some of these stable coins will go to crypto, which is good.
Yeah.
Another point here was that, hey, we have so many L2s, L1s at the moment that um, it's basically reducing the fees when you do a transaction in different chains. Obviously, a good example has been Avalanche, that had very successful launch with Gunzilla. So Gunzilla is a Web3 game, and they've been onboarding now at least 8 million wallets. And what's good about them is basically that you don't even know that it's a Web3 game. I think we will see more of these, and the transaction cost on Avalanche is like nothing. So
Nice. Yeah, I think that might be sparking a new wave in the GameFi cycle again. So keep your eyes on some of those GameFi names. Yeah, we'll talk about some of those charts that I was looking at later.
yeah. So basically, the Godzilla game was off the grid. I didn't mention it, but yeah, very interesting to see like what will happen. DeFi remains very popular and it's growing. Obviously, like because you don't have to KYC in some DeFi protocols, and you can access it wherever you are. I think this is a major thing overall for DeFi. And I'm still waiting for I don't know if you know, but Andre was one of the biggest DeFi guys during last cycle, and his new thing that he's building is basically what do you call it? A lending protocol where you can verify your wallet and get a credit score. So what would it mean? At the moment, if you're doing DeFi, you have to have over collateralized loans. But basically, what Andre Conrier and his crew is building now is a way that you could use your wallet to verify who you are, and through that actually get loans that are not over collateralized. And I think this will be the next stage in crypto overall. Like if I can go and be wherever you are and get a loan, I think that's remarkable. I think that's very good. Another thing, AI, we will talk about this later a little bit, but obviously AI is here. It's becoming more and more norm. It's very good for crypto in a way, because first of all, the deep fakes that you are seeing online are becoming more and more insane. And if you have a blockchain or a CK technology, you can actually verify that this is not the case. I think BitTensor, so Tao, has been a very strong candidate of taking the lead there. Render is another one, but I think we'll go through them a little bit later. And then on meme games, we had one GOAT called the GOAT coming out. We'll talk about it a little bit. But yeah, a lot of exciting things in crypto. I think the rest of this information you can go and check them out on A16's crypto report. But yeah, I recommend a lot of good news.
Nice. Yeah, a lot of activity.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, next thing, meme coins. We were talking about that last week, but now they're becoming more and more. And something interesting that happened was that there's this meme called GOAT, and GOAT was done. I think was it Andrew Horowitz or Mark that did this? So basically, a guy or a VC launched GOAT, and GOAT is basically done by an AI agent. And how it was launched was through Pump.fun, and the guy or the entity that is going through this or doing this, it's called Truth Terminal. Truth Terminal is an AI that is basically just tweeting out different things, And what's so special about gold is it's truly made by AI. There's no human behind it. It's just AI posting memes and shit. But yeah, what's your take here? I don't know the full story, but you have a better
Yeah, I mean,
understanding.
it's pretty crazy. Like, I think they ran it up to like 300 mil market cap. Like, I think he took like 50K investment and then ran it up to like, I forget what it was, like 100 mil or something ridiculous. But pretty cool to see like the actual use case of like how AI agents can affect markets. It's showing that like also like the AI sector is obviously still very how do you say, like, new, and we're still discovering potential stuff. And I think this is like a really good first case of like, hey, look, these AI agents might be taking over the markets pretty soon.
This is pretty sick, man.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
If you look at the graph, and it's probably going to 1 billion. Obviously, not the
Yeah,
financially wise, but it's it's definitely getting some momentum. And I don't know, the more like these AI agents become sentinel and become more what do you call it? They understand more what to do. I think they will be very powerful. Imagine having an AI agent that is going to Reddit, 4chan, and can distribute this knowledge of the meme. I think
yeah,
it will become quite strange.
yeah, yeah. It's going to make the market a lot more difficult to navigate, perhaps. But I know a lot of people are chasing these memes right now. Anything like this, like count, like post, there's like a meme that comes out essentially right away, and then yeah,
I mean,
it's posting some funny stuff though. Like what
I
the
don't
hell?
know.
Yeah,
Anyway,
perfect for the
let's
meme
see.
culture.
Yeah. Anyway, let's look at the search volume. The search volume, so the trend on Google has been on rise. Overall, I don't know, it's becoming more and more norm. And I actually saw some funds now fully focusing on meme coins. So I think liquid funds that are out there, if you're not focusing on memes, I don't know. I think you're leaving from this cycle pretty hardly. What's your take?
Yeah, I mean, clearly the memes were the sector leading the cycle. Like all throughout the year, the memes have been performing very well. A lot of people are making, I don't know if a lot of people are making money, to be honest, but I do see a lot of big wins coming in and out of these memes. And there seems to be like, like 100 memes like coming out every single day. Most like trading groups I'm in, that's like the main topic is like people are just posting meme stuff rather than like actual like tokens that have like some utility and stuff. So I definitely don't think like memes are something you should be fading, but I also don't agree that you should be chasing them either. Look for setups and manage your risk.
Got it. Yeah, and overall, like if you're trading memes, expect them to be rugged. But Pump That Fun is making a killing, and I think overall, like it's the new trend that's going to be staying here. Um,
Yeah.
Interesting to see. Anyway, Mr. Trump himself launched a token, WLFI, and they were supposed to raise more than $300 million. Unfortunately, they have not been able to raise that. I think they're at $15 or $20 million at the moment. I don't know. I think if he would have launched a meme, that would have been much better. And I don't know. There's a lot of things that didn't go as planned. But yeah, what's your take here?
Yeah, I originally thought it was a meme, but clearly people don't really care. I mean, that's a pretty weak sale. Like, if these meme coins are being able to raise a lot more than that, like, you can kind of
Maybe
show where the market direction is going.
maybe this is actually a good thing from the crypto community. Like, hey, we're not gonna put money on anything that, like, I know that we are degenerates, but even for the degenerates, they have a limit.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
perhaps.
all right. Anyway, I was going to talk a little bit about Acquire.Fi. We've been getting more listings than before. And community members, we are going to be getting more and more sales now, which means that we're going to be allocating some of that sales into our token. But also, like, we're getting new pre-sales again, and we're going to be offering those to a lovely tier 5 community. Please check them out, and please check our new website. There's a lot of new updates coming up, and I'm very proud of where we are. Overall, we've been killing it lately, and hopefully we can talk about those killings in some other episode. But yeah, happy to say about that. Anyway, BTC inflows. We've been seeing record amount of inflows, and what I read somewhere is these inflows are actually cash and carry trades. So what does it mean? It means there's a little trade that you can do with spot and futures. And at the moment, when a future market is bigger than the spot market, you can basically do a cash and carry trade. So take a long and take a short position and basically take a little yield on that. But yeah, what's your take here, man? Like BTC is really pumping. So I don't know. Maybe that's not only a cash and carry trade.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it looks like we've had like back-to-back weeks of inflow, positive inflow. If you look at the price of Bitcoin, it's been just straight up. And maybe they are, a lot of volumes coming in, stepping in. I've noticed like the institutions have been accumulating in this range that we've been in the last like 6 months. So yeah, I mean, it seems like they are definitely bullish, which is always a good sign for everyone. And yeah.
Got it. And ETF flows, dude, they're still so low compared to BTC. Like,
yeah,
this is
this is lagging for sure.
This is very bad. And obviously, we still have Grayscale with their $9 billion. So I don't know. I'm not very bullish on it. And anyway, like all the L1s and L2s, there's a fierce battle to get plebs to use the platforms, so normal people. Sui has been getting a lot of attention lately. They've had a very good run. Ton is also still there. But yeah, let's go through, Andrew, your market reports.
Sure, we can go over some charts. I always like going over like seasonality stuff, right? Like if you look at S&P stuff, like we are expecting a little bit of a dip coming into like the end of October. But overall, like we are supposed to see much higher levels as we get closer to the end of the year. We also have elections coming up in like a couple of weeks. So, I do expect a lot of volatility. And, during these like kind of like election times, like you can see like going into November, there should be another big up spike because usually you don't want to let the market crash like before the election happens. So I do expect some volatility and hopefully more to the upside. And then also in the tech sector, same thing. We're supposed to expect a little bit of a dip coming into here like mid-October. But if you look at the rest of the year, it's supposed to just be straight up. And even coming into November, the market should be pointing up much higher. So based on a lot of the seasonality stuff, like I do expect a lot higher levels. And so like I've been loading up, like I always find like October being like one of the best months for me personally to be finding like potential bottoms and then just kind of holding and playing it out until like next year. And let's go over to some charts. We can go over some Bitcoin chart. So, last week we had a very strong rally. We came back down, tested the 38.2s, came a bit lower, but we kind of jackknifed right back up. And then it's just been straight up since. What I really like is that we finally have these like higher lows and higher highs now, finally. So like, we got the one low here, we finally got the high, then we got another higher low, higher high, higher low, and another higher high. So when you see that, that indicates like a bullish trend. So it's quite good to see because like, obviously we're still in this like downward trend based on this like this larger range here. But this downward trend is broken in a sense because as we keep making higher highs and higher lows, we're stepping closer and closer to try to hit these highs over here, right? So the only thing right now is that we are technically in these short reload zones, which is these 61.8 to 78.6 levels. We came and kissed the 78.6 and got rejected a couple times here now. So I think price is just like consolidating, trying to figure out whether we want to kind of blast through or not. What I really like is that we did have a bullish div in the MACD on this move here. So, we are still playing out the bullish div here. We never hit oversold conditions and we aren't at overbought conditions either. So obviously there could still be another stab a little bit higher. But as we're in these ranges, like I do expect a little bit of a resistance and pullback. So I wouldn't want to chase longs here and try to buy stuff here. You know, obviously you want to kind of come down into these like long reload zones, or maybe even these like 38.2s like first stops. But yeah, I know a lot of people right now are eyeing the 64K level. Like if we are to get a pullback, that's kind of ideally where people want to see levels holding. And then if we do come back and test 64K, that would print like a higher low. And then as long as we flip back up and break these highs, the bullish trend will be continuing. So that's what I see on Bitcoin.
What about liquidation? What about liquidation heat map? What are we seeing there?
I don't have those up right now. Let me see. I can share this tab here. So this is just in the last 24 hours.
Oh, wow, we've been eating a lot of shorts.
Yeah. So this is like on a 2-day chart pattern. So we have a lot of levels up here around 68K, but we also have a lot of levels down here as well, coming down around 66K, right? So it's a pretty like tight range, tight squeeze. It looks like kind of equal to the both sides here. If I look at it on a weekly chart, you know, we do have a lot of pressure up here as well still. And you obviously see some downward pressure building here. And it kind of makes sense because, you know, this is the double bottom that you see in price. You know, most people are probably going to have their stop right at the bottom of there. Same thing here. You had double tops here. Most people are going to have their stops right against there. And we came pretty close to it, right? So, yeah, I mean, it can go in either direction at this point, in my opinion. Some tight ranges. One thing I do like about Bitcoin is like I follow this like hash ribbon signal. And so for me, like, the fact that we had a buy signal here, it was great. We came a little bit lower, but then we got this bullish harami, which I took. We've just been kind of like waffling, ranging. But what I really like is that we just got another buy signal in the hash ribbon here. So it's indicating like, you know, the miners are back on. It's profitable for them. And it's a good time to kind of start hunting buys. So I like seeing that. That's very positive. But I'm still waiting for obviously like these short reload zones to kind of resolve, and then kind of figure out what to do there. But if I look on ETH was like quite nice. Like I thought ETH had a better breakout just because the fact that we had a double bottom print here. And we had the prints kind of like coming in, defending like these like long reload zones, you know, typically where you want to be kind of hunting. The only thing is like now we're in the short reload zone as well for ETH. We got rejected on the 17.6, and now we're just kind of consolidating here. This could easily turn into a double top and break down, or this could kind of turn out into being like a double bottom and W out, which is ideally what we want to see. Momentum-wise, you know, we're not at the overbought conditions yet. We don't have any bear divs here yet. So I think we're just kind of like consolidating, waiting to see what we want to do. I'm still waiting for ETH to break out higher here, because like once we break above like 2,700 here, that would confirm the higher high finally, and then we can start shaping out like the bullish trend setups here. ETH is obviously underperforming, but yeah.
How's the liquidation here on ETH?
Let me check.
I think overall, like with ETH, there's so much ETH that the Grayscale still have in their books. I don't know. Like every time they try to break it, yeah, look at this. It's quite weak, to be honest. Like,
yeah, this is on the day. So this is just on the daily chart of today's. So, you know, we had some liquidation levels here that I tried to wash out, and then we got a lot kind of stacking up here above like 2,700, 2,600. But if you're looking on a week's chart, just so there's a little bit more data, like we came and wiped out these liquidations up here. It looks like against these old previous highs. We don't really have much up here, it looks like. But, you know, you can see there's a lot more levels to the lower side here. You know, this is like closer to 2,500. This is all the way down to 2,400. But yeah, like in this range here, there's doesn't seem to be a lot going on.
Got it.
Yeah,
I don't know. ETH is weak. I can't say anything else. I think ETH is weak.
Yeah. I mean, I personally like both. Like, you know, ETH and Bitcoin always kind of go hand in hand, in my opinion. So they're just like the two majors you kind of want to keep your eyes on in a sense. So the other thing is too is like, you know, the Dixie has been extremely strong here. Like, you know, we saw this trade come in a couple weeks ago. We had the double bottom come in right along like the 17.6. We had the bullish divs. We had the oversold condition. So like off we went. It's also like if you look at the bonds, euro, and yen, those charts are also all breaking down pretty heavily. But we are starting to come into these like short reload zones on the Dixie, which is like where I do expect to see like the resistance. We're actually right against the 200 SMA right now as well, so there's a little bit of a pause. But I think we might get another push up, and then that might be the final push, hopefully. You can already see like the MACD is starting to kind of try to carve out like potential divs. We are in the overbought territory. So, there is a little bit of a pause that is to be expected. But, the election is coming up too. So, maybe they just keep this market ramped up, keep it strong, at least until the election. So,
got it. But usually, when Dixie goes up, usually the BTC dumps. So I'm kind of confused here, like what's going on. And maybe BTC is just a hedge now with all this.
Yeah, you get these like market states every now and then where you get both like the risk on, risk off assets rally. Like, like even like the S&P and NASDAQ, they were rallying a bit higher while the Dixie was running up. And usually like they are inversely correlated. But the last week or so, it's just been both kind of going up at the same time. So, a little bit of mixed message there. But definitely keeping my eyes on that just to see how that reacts.
Good. What's your coins, man? What's your coins this week? What should I buy?
Okay. Well, I don't know. I can't recommend buying anything, like obviously, but there's some charts that I'm looking at and looking to take some trades. There's one that I talked about, which was like SHIBA coin. I really liked how this one was lining up. We're right in the long reload zone on this massive range. Obviously, it would have been nicer to buy on this double bottom down here, but I missed it. So what's my next best option? Well, if this market is to be trending up, this is kind of more of like a trend continuation setup. There is a double bottom forming here right now. It's probably against like a 38.2. Sorry, I just got to fix my fibs here. There we go. Flip that. There we go. So yeah, it's like right, whenever you see these consolidations around the 38.2 to 50, that's like what we call like the pump chaser zone. So usually if the trending market is still up, this is where you would see the consolidation around and then get the double bottom and then you take the trade. And so like I really liked how this one was looking. My double target would just be right against the 70.6 of this range, which I think harmonically it also lines up pretty well with all these levels. So that's one trade that I'm really liking right now. Another one that I'm looking at is, let me see, NMR. NMR is another one. This is like kind of like an AI play. I really like that it's like sitting right against the 88.6 level. This is like your sniper fib level. This is kind of like your last stop where like, the whales, institutions, everybody is going to try to defend. You had all these little double bottoms print and we got these like Wi-Fi check holding. And we do have a little bit of a double bottom printing here right now. So I like the fact that we're at the bottom of the range and stuff. We have this really big bull volume step in here as well. So we got the bullish div here active still. And yeah, so I think this is a pretty decent one that I'm kind of looking at right now. Another one that I really liked was ZK. I don't think ZK had its moment yet. I like that it's come and like washed out these like original like lows, which is like where it first launched from. And we've just been kind of consolidating sideways here. And this is like, again, like a trend continuation type setup. We're getting double bottoms kind of consolidating here around 38.2s. And so I figured this trade might be okay, especially if we are still in an uptrend. This is typically where you would see the consolidation. So this is another one that I felt would be a decent one. Let's see what else. Core was another one that I was kind of looking at. Let me see if I can find my chart here. I have too many charts open.
You're a trader, man. You're a trader.
Yeah. So Core is a little bit underwater. Like I actually bought this original double bottom here, but I'm still holding. I think it's still pretty valid. Like, we had the breakdown. We had another double bottom print here. We had the Wyckoff check here and it's holding. Another double bottom print. It's right along. It's like bottom of the range here. This is supposed to be like a Bitcoin beta play, I guess. So I still like it. Obviously, if we lose these lows, I'm probably gonna hop off. But until we lose those lows, I'll probably still stick into this trade here. Another one that I think you mentioned, Render. I do like Render as well. So Render, we are in the reload zone still, right? 61.8 and 17.6 here. Also, we are consolidating around the 38.2 to 50 level. This is the pump chaser zone. We got the double bottom print here originally. So this is where I originally entered on. We got the breakout, got the Wyckoff check, got another double bottom. Now we're doing another Wyckoff check. So if this turns and breaks out above here, we did carve out another W. I could see Render running again. But right now, I do like how it's trying to consolidate. So this is another name that I am looking to maybe potentially add to. And then let me go to some more on-chain stuff. Prime is another one that I really liked here. I like that it came and like kind of kissed the reload zone. I personally would have ideally liked it more if it was in the reload zone, but you can't get all these like perfect setups all the time. I like that the bull volume stepped in here. We got the double bottom prints here. It's right along the pump chaser zone. So I actually fired a trade right along the double bottom here. I'll probably risk to the low of this double bottom here as well. And yeah, like we're actually technically in a long reload zone on this bigger range here as well. So we have the massive breakout. We're still within this range. So I felt like it was a pretty decent trade. We had a really big bullish divergence here, back here. So that's kind of like set the bottom. We had the oversold conditions down here as well. So it's just been kind of like consolidating, kind of a little bit on like an upward trend. So a little bit more of like a trend continuation setup here as well. Another one that I was kind of liking was Ondo. Ondo also came and kissed like the reload zone here. It's just been kind of like consolidating. We had the Wyckoff check here, double bottom print. So I tried to buy that double bottom there. We had like the bullish divs come in on the MACD here. We had oversold conditions back here as well. So just seeing how this one resolves. It's been a little bit of a slow mover, but I kind of like how it's being positioned. So who knows? Maybe it holds, maybe it doesn't. But that's definitely one that I'm liking. RSS3 is another one that I really liked here as well. I like that we're consolidating along the 88.6. I like all these little double bottoms that have formed and confirmed. We got the Wyckoff check here, and we got another double bottom print. So this is another name that I am eyeing. I like that there was like a big bull volume step in here. We got the bullish divergence MACD div confirmed right there, and we did have oversold conditions back here as well. So I do think this trade is trying to set up here. I like that it's against its bottom of its range, and I like double bottoms, as you can tell. Another one I really liked was Sin. This one's already a little bit out of range, but I think it's pulling back down now again. So maybe you might get a chance to enter where I entered on as well. This one I really like because like we were consolidating around like the 88.6 here. We got the double bottom breakout. We had the Wyckoff check. And then we kind of got this another little double bottom kind of printed in here. And this is within its reload zone of this little small range. So I thought this would be a decent trade. We initially popped off pretty well. And now we're just kind of pulling back, retesting the original breakout. As long as that holds, that could be a possible entry again if anyone that missed this trade that we posted. And then Beam is another one. Beam, we originally had this like massive trade off, right? I'm looking to hit my 10x up here hopefully soon. But I really like this trade, so I wanted to strengthen it and re-add. So I rebought this like double bottom here along the reload zone. So as you can see, we're against 61.8 to 70.6. We have the double bottom print here. We had the bullish MACD div confirmed over here. And then we had a lot of like oversold conditions. So we broke out, we came pretty close. Like we came up to like, 60%. And then we kind of broke back down, which is fine. So based on this range from this low to this high, I was looking for these reload zone again. It looks like we came and held the 61.8 and we just kind of like W'd out right here. So I figured like, well, I want to keep adding and keep strengthening this position because I know it's a winner. And so I added here again. So yeah, I got 3 positions on this one right now. This one's got a little bit of a smaller profit target, but I'll probably end up just clipping both of them out once we get here. This one, I'll probably end up closing the third trade if we do lose these lows here. But, I think the GameFi cycle might be coming back perhaps, especially with like off the grid hype coming in. So this and Prime were like the two kind of like other GameFi betas that I'm kind of playing right now.
Cool.
Yeah. What else? I mean, we can look at some meme stuff, perhaps. Maybe not so much. I haven't really been hunting the meme stuff too much, but yeah. I mean, if we're looking at AI name, I think Quill's another one that might be possibly setting up. I'm just kind of waiting for this to set up. Like, there could be a potential W here forming. So if you do see, like, this starting to come back up, we got the W right here, and that is kind of where you want to be entering. So that's kind of what I'm eyeing right now on Quill. Hopefully this will turn back up. I do like it is coming right against the reload zone here. Maybe this has to break down more, and then we get the W in here. But if I do see that, that is something that I would be trying to hunt, especially with the AI stuff kind of coming back again. So yeah, these are some of the picks that I am eyeing for this week right now.
That's a lot of good coins. Obviously, not financial advice, but I think it's a good list. I will definitely buy some of them. Andrew, thank you for thank you for being on the show again. Hopefully,
yeah, thanks for having me.
Guys, give some feedback to us. Please like and share, and we'll be back next week.
Yep. Hope you guys